Hey, welcome back to the channel. Okay, before you go scrolling anywhere, stop right there. Because today we are talking about something that, whether you're ARMY or not even a K-pop fan at all, is going to make your jaw drop. 58 million. 5 to 8 million. That is not the net worth of a corporation. That is not the population of a country. That is the Instagram follower count of one person. One K-pop idol. And not just any idol. We are talking about Park Jimin, vocal powerhouse, main dancer, and the iconic face of the most influential K-pop group in the world, BTS. And what makes this even more mind-blowing? That 58 million was achieved with only 13 posts. 13. Meanwhile, there are artists out there who have posted thousands of pieces of content, gone in and out of studios, launched massive campaigns, and still can't come anywhere near that number. How is that even possible? Well, in this video, we are going to break it all down. From the dramatic history of Jimin's Instagram, to why a single BTS photo can make his follower count detonate, to why 58 million is a number that's making other K-pop agencies, even the top-tier ones, seriously uncomfortable. Stay until the end, because there are facts here that even most ARMY might not know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now, because this is the kind of content we're bringing you every single time. Before we get into the numbers, let's take a moment to properly introduce the person we're actually talking about. Park Jimin was born on October 13th, 1995, in Busan, South Korea. He joined Big Hit Entertainment, now known as HYB, and became one of the 7 members of BTS when they debuted in 2013. Within BTS, Jimin holds the position of lead vocalist and main dancer. And if you've ever watched him perform live, you know exactly why he earned those titles. His movements are precise, expressive, and carry a stage presence that's genuinely difficult to put into words. But the moment you see it, you completely understand. But what makes Jimin truly special goes far beyond raw talent. He is one of those rare idols whose appeal extends well beyond the boundaries of any fandom. People who aren't even K-pop fans can be drawn in by his content, his performances, his personality that, while appearing quietly calm on the surface, carries a warmth that feels completely genuine. That's not something you can manufacture. That's not something you can script or produce. You either have it or you don't, and Jimin absolutely has it. In the world of social media, Jimin has long been recognized as the SNS king within ARMY circles. And here's the wild part. Even before he had his own personal Instagram account, the hashtag Jimin was already breaking records as the most mentioned individual on the entire Instagram platform. Over 66 million posts carrying his name tag. And he didn't even have an account yet. Let that sink in for a second. Someone's name is mentioned 66 million times on Instagram, and they don't even have an account there. That is a phenomenon with no parallel anywhere in the K-pop industry. Okay, now let's rewind to where it all started. To the moment that permanently changed the landscape of K-pop on social media. December 6th, 2021. On that day, Big Hit Music announced that all 7 members of BTS would be creating their own personal Instagram accounts. Before this announcement, every member of BTS communicated with fans exclusively through the Weverse platform and the group's official shared accounts. There were no individual social media profiles. Fans have been waiting years for something exactly like this. And when that announcement dropped, the internet absolutely lost its mind. Within minutes, fans from every corner of the planet began racing to find the new accounts. And when Jimin's account, at j.m, appeared, what happened next was genuinely beyond comprehension. Starting from around 667,000 followers at the beginning, which was likely a preset account, in less than 2 to 3 hours, Jimin's follower count skyrocketed to 5.8 million. 5.8 million. In 2 hours. That is not a typo. And it wasn't just Jimin. Every BTS member who joined that evening surpassed 15 million followers within the first 24 hours. But Jimin, who had long been established as the SNS king, recorded growth that was the most talked about of all. His name was everywhere. Every analytics tracker, every entertainment news outlet, every fan community, all of them fixated on the same thing. How did this many people move this fast? And then there was another layer that made it even more extraordinary. The account was immediately followed by celebrities from around the world. Actors, actresses, supermodels, international musicians, they all flooded into Jimin's account. Major names from the global entertainment industry suddenly appearing as followers of a K-pop idol from Busan. This was no longer just K-pop. This had become a full-scale, global cultural phenomenon. But Jimin's Instagram story didn't exactly run smoothly from there. There's an episode that, if you told it to someone who didn't know the context, would sound like the plot of a drama. But this actually happened. Christmas 2025. Jimin suddenly appeared on Weverse, HYBE's fan community platform, with a confession that made millions of ARMY around the world laugh out loud, while also feeling genuinely sympathetic. He said, "I finally got back into Instagram. I changed my password 8 times. 8 times. Jimin, the idol whose single photo can move millions of people in a matter of minutes, had been locked out of his own Instagram account for weeks because he forgot his password. 2 days earlier, during a live broadcast with all 7 BTS members, he had already admitted that he couldn't get into his Instagram. The whole group apparently knew about his situation, and it had become something of a running joke among them. And what did he decide to do once he finally managed to get back in? He deleted every single one of his old posts and started completely from scratch. He wiped more than 100 posts, reset everything, then uploaded 3 new photos, including one with Jungkook in front of a mirror, one of himself leaning into a Christmas tree with his signature playful expression, and a hand-drawn Christmas tree illustration topped with a heart and signed, "Merry Christmas Jimin," accompanied by a message that read, "Merry Christmas Army." Simple? Absolutely. But what happened next? Those 3 photos collectively gathered over 11 million likes. The first post, 4.1 million. The second, 3.1 million. The third, 3.8 million. In that single Christmas moment, Jimin returned to being the center of conversation across the entire K-pop universe, trending on every platform. His name appearing in entertainment headlines from Indonesia to Europe to the Americas. And from that point on, the journey toward 58 million followers became completely unstoppable. Now let's talk about the numbers themselves, because this is the part that makes clear why 58 million is not just impressive, it's genuinely historic. As of now, Jimin's Instagram account at j.m stands at 58 million followers with just 13 posts. Not 130, not 1,300, 13. And his average likes per post? 6.5 million per post, not total, per single post. To put that in perspective, there are global influencers with hundreds of millions of followers who genuinely struggle to achieve engagement rates anywhere close to what Jimin generates. He posts once and drives 6.5 million likes. That is not normal. That is not something that happens in conventional social media strategy. That is a level of audience loyalty and attention that most accounts, regardless of size, will never come close to experiencing. Among BTS members, V or Kim Taehyung currently holds the top position for most followed Korean act on Instagram globally, and is recognized by analytics platforms as one of the top 3 most followed accounts on the platform worldwide, surpassing names like Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift at various points. Jin sits at around 54 million followers. Suga, RM, Jhope, and Jungkook each hold tens of millions. The official BTS group account has crossed 81 million. But what makes Jimin's numbers stand out in this already extraordinary group is the ratio, the relationship between how little he posts and how much impact each post carries. And this isn't about fake followers or inflated counts. Platform analysts have consistently noted that Jimin's follower base is among the most organically engaged on all of Instagram. His growth continues even in months where he is completely inactive. That means people are still discovering him, still following him, still talking about him, without him even having to do anything. In the broader K-pop landscape, idol Instagram follower counts are dominated by Blackpink members, particularly Lisa with over 90 million, and Jennie. But these are artists who have been consistently and actively posting for years, running regular content strategies, and benefiting from incredibly high social media activity. Jimin's position at 58 million, achieved through near total inactivity in terms of posting frequency, tells a fundamentally different story about the nature of his fanbase's loyalty. Here's what makes Jimin's Instagram presence truly fascinating: the chain reaction that happens every single time he posts something. When Jimin updates his Instagram, it's not just ARMY who react. Other artists respond. Global influencers comment. International media picks up the story. In one particular post he made in early 2022, a photo where he appeared, as fans described it, breathtakingly handsome, showing off his clear skin, full shiny hair, and perfect proportions. Popular Japanese actress Megumi Han was spotted openly fangirling in the comments. She was not the only celebrity to do so. The comments section became a place where regular fans and famous names from across the industry coexisted in the same moment of shared appreciation. The follower growth triggered by that single post was staggering. In the 3 days following that update, Jimin became the Korean account with the largest follower growth on Instagram, outpacing every other K-pop artist. Day 1, over 205,000 new followers. Day 2, an additional 181,000. Day 3, another 160,000. All from one photo. And the ripple effect extends far beyond Instagram itself. When Jimin posts, hashtags surge on Twitter and X. Reaction content floods YouTube. TikTok fills with clips pulling from the photo or video he shared. Fan art appears within hours. Thread analysis appears within minutes. Every single one of these reactions happens organically. No paid campaigns, no PR teams pushing the trend, no coordinated promotional strategy. Just one post, and the world responds. That is a form of cultural power that no marketing budget in the world can simply purchase. Let's be honest about what this means for the rest of the industry, because this is the part that actually makes other agencies sit up and pay attention. In K-pop, social media presence is not a side element of an idol's career. It is a central pillar of their commercial value. Follower counts on Instagram determine the size of brand endorsement deals, the terms of international collaboration agreements, the access to prestigious events, and the negotiating power at global music festivals. The bigger the number, the bigger the value in the eyes of luxury brands, entertainment companies, and media platforms worldwide. And this is where Jimin fundamentally complicates the calculations of everyone else in the industry. Imagine you are the marketing director of an international luxury brand. You are looking for a brand ambassador. You pull up the data. Jimin, 58 million followers, sky-high engagement rate, organic audience, and an average of 6.5 million likes per post. He doesn't flood his feed daily, which means every post feels exclusive, feels special, and the audience's attention is never diluted or divided across an overwhelming stream of content. That combination is almost impossible to find in any other artist at any level. Many K-pop agencies invest heavily in social media strategy for their artists. Content teams, regular posting schedules, paid collaborations, aggressive pushes for daily idol activity. All of this is standard practice and entirely reasonable for building a social media presence. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It works for many artists. But Jimin, with 13 posts? With an account that was locked for weeks because he forgot his own password? With an approach that is about as far from a polished, scheduled social media strategy as you can possibly get? The result is 58 million followers and an engagement level that makes even the most sophisticated agencies stop and genuinely wonder what they're missing. Because what Jimin possesses is something that no social media playbook can teach: a deep, genuine emotional connection with his audience. And that kind of connection is infinitely more powerful than any algorithm, any content calendar, or any paid promotion strategy. We cannot talk about the phenomenon of Jimin's Instagram without talking about the single most critical element in the entire equation: ARMY. ARMY is not a typical fandom. They are a globally organized, deeply dedicated community with a collective force that is genuinely unlike anything else in entertainment. And in the context of social media, ARMY is an amplification machine with no rival anywhere. When Jimin posts, ARMY doesn't just like the photo. They spread it. They create analytical threads breaking down every detail. They produce fan art inspired by the image within hours. They write articles and commentary. They create reaction content. They translate Jimin's captions and comments into dozens of languages so that fans in every country can access the same moment of connection. All of this happens simultaneously, spontaneously, and at a global scale that is simply breathtaking to observe. This is an entire parallel ecosystem running alongside Jimin's activity on Instagram. And this ecosystem is genuinely global, from the United States and Brazil to France, Nigeria, Thailand, the Philippines, and every corner of the planet in between. Every single one of these communities is fully invested, fully mobilized, and fully ready to amplify whatever Jimin shares the moment it goes live. And here is what makes this even more remarkable. The loyalty does not erode with time. Even during extended periods when Jimin is completely absent from Instagram, his follower count keeps growing steadily, every month, moving toward a larger and larger number without him having to do anything at all to maintain momentum. This is proof that what Jimin has built alongside ARMY is not popularity based on a passing trend. It is a long-term relationship that exists well beyond the normal cycle of social media hype, which almost always burns fast and fades faster. What exists here is something different, something that compounds over time rather than diminishing. So where does all of this go from here? BTS is currently entering a new chapter that millions of people around the world have been waiting for. After each member completed their mandatory military service, BTS has returned as a full 7-member group. The official BTS Instagram account recently posted content related to their new song, Erarang, sitting at 81 million followers. The signal is clear, a new era of BTS has begun. And within that era, Jimin's individual presence on Instagram is going to carry increasing weight, even if it continues to operate on his own terms, which means rare but always impactful. If Jimin became even slightly more active, even just twice as frequent as his current pace, analysts estimate his follower count would grow significantly faster than it already does. But that's precisely where his appeal lies. Jimin never looks like he's chasing a number. Every post feels authentic, like he genuinely wanted to share something, not because a content schedule demanded it. And that authenticity, ironically, is the most powerful content strategy of all. The social media world is overflowing with content that is manufactured, overpolished, and artificial. In the middle of all that noise, Jimin's rare but genuine presence becomes a striking contrast that naturally draws attention. Like the moon appearing in a night sky. Precisely because it isn't always there, when it does appear, every eye in the room looks up. Alright everyone, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the very beginning of Jimin's Instagram journey in December 2021, when 5.8 million followers arrived in just 2 hours, to the Christmas 2025 drama, where he reset every single post after changing his password 8 times, and now standing at 58 million followers with just 13 posts. This is not just a story about numbers on a social media platform. This is a story about the power of genuine human connection. About how an artist who never once appeared to be trying to go viral has remained an unstoppable global phenomenon. About how a community as loyal and passionate as ARMY can amplify the impact of every small step their idol takes, turning each one into something that resonates far beyond the boundaries of a fandom. And this is a reminder for the entire entertainment industry, not just K-pop, that in an era where content floods every platform at every hour, the quality of connection will always outperform the quantity of content. 58 million, with 13 photos. If that isn't the definition of less is more, I genuinely don't know what is. What do you think? Did the 58 million number surprise you? Or did you see it coming from miles away? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I am genuinely curious to hear from you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this content was worth your time. And if you have a friend who's ARMY or a K-pop fan, tag them right here. Let's build the conversation together. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and just like Jimin always reminds ARMY, don't forget to be happy today. Bye.